trying the mandarin from the street.
What?
Sour. Sour. Very hot.
Esta cara. It's 15%. It's a very strong wine. You know? This one you have is national meat. You have 1,170 grams. This one is a high cow, and this one is the most better that we have today. It's ox with 120 days of maturation. Thank you so much.
I cannot check out.
Contigo vuelo y vuelo sin cesar. Está la guerra de Francia.
You're free. Gotta send it to them. Wait, I don't want coffee. Most of it. Can later, I don't mind.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened.
Cabin crew, thank you, set for landing.
No sé yo hasta qué punto,
Lobster you clean, okay? I really don't like cleaning the lobster.
Here. Coche pasa, coche pasa.